So I am a violinist and a teacher, and I'm based in Manchester, in the northwest of England. I have been teaching in many, many different contexts for about 20 years now. So I've taught sort of whole class string playing, and I've taught ensembles, and I've taught one-to-one and small groups. I've even taught some performing arts in primary schools, and I teach a lot of musicianship as well, based on sort of the Dalcroze and Kadai approaches. Currently, I'm actually the head of young strings at the Royal Northern College of Music, where we help musicians to develop not only their instrumental skills, but also their sort of wider musicianship skills. We help them to sort of really, we try to equip them with everything they're going to need to be really well-rounded musicians. I also do some one-to-one teaching in local schools around here, and I have my own private teaching practice as well. And then, of course, I am one of the mentors on the mentor team for the ESTA PGCert. And I've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years now, since the course actually began. And that is a wonderful role that has really sort of enhanced what I do with younger people. It came along at the same time as I also started to do a lot of lecturing with the undergraduate and postgraduate students at the Royal Northern College of Music. So those two things together sort of really tied together and really, I suppose, sort of extended me as a musician and what I can offer as a teacher, helped me to become a more reflective practitioner, and led me into some nice avenues of research as well. So it's been a great journey, actually. I've really enjoyed my work with ESTA so far.
What do you think, in your opinion, what are the main benefits for students taking either the PGCert course or continuing on to the Masters?
So I think the main benefits of studying on either the PGCert or the Master's course, or both together, is having that opportunity just to sit back and have a really good look at the way that you're doing things. It's an opportunity to sort of scrutinise and analyse the way you're doing things, and maybe start to consider whether there are some different ways to do things, perhaps some better ways. It's an opportunity to do some research and to develop yourself as a reflective practitioner, which is such an important part of teaching. It's how we all continue to develop. We're always learning all of the time. We also get the opportunity to meet other teachers, which is really, really important in, I think, a field of work that can sometimes feel a little bit isolated. Not always, but it can do. We can sometimes feel like we're operating on a bit of an island. So it's an opportunity to get together with some like-minded colleagues who will have a vast array of different backgrounds and experiences to offer and to share. So we all learn from each other in our in our little mentor groups on the course, and with the group, with the wider cohort on the course as well. So I think it's that I think it's being together with a cohort of people who've all got a thirst to research and learn and develop, sharing practice, which is so healthy for all of us.
Can you say a little bit about how the student and mentor relationship works, and those meetings, and the way that you support students or teachers who are students through the course?
Yes. First off, I think it's a really, really wonderful relationship. The relationships I've developed with the mentor groups that I've had over the years feel like they've been really sort of mutually fruitful and beneficial. It's a lovely opportunity to get to know colleagues and people who we're all doing the same thing. And I think the mentors are chosen to be mentors because they've got lots and lots of experience to share and offer. They tend to be very reflective and active researchers. So they have got the opportunity to just share what they have learned. They certainly don't profess to have all of the answers, but they do tend to be people who will continue to look for the right answers. So I think the relationship is lovely. It's very much a sort of guiding relationship. The mentors ask questions and they listen really, really carefully. And then they will offer feedback, advice, guidance, ask further questions, perhaps. So, and the opportunity to meet them regularly throughout the course means that you really get to know each other quite well. You get to know each other's teaching. You know, the mentors will share clips of their own teaching, and the students will send over clips of their teaching. So we get to know them as people as well as teachers. And I think the mentor team, from my experience, are extremely interested and caring people, and they are there with a genuine interest to find out a little bit more about the students as people and teachers, and they really want to. They're so passionate about music education. They really want to help those teachers to develop.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good team, isn't it? It
It's
feels
a
like a
great team.
privilege to.
Yeah.
It's so lovely working with everyone. Thinking about all the years you've been doing the mentoring on these courses, can you give me a couple of specific examples or more general examples of things that teachers are particularly interested in?
Yes. I think from my experience, a lot of teachers have been very keen to expand and develop the curriculum that they offer to their students. So quite often they want to learn how to teach more creatively, and how to give students the opportunity to develop a wider range of musical skills and understanding. Perhaps it might be that they choose to look very closely at the role of graded exams in their teaching. So quite a few of my students have chosen to research and write essays about, the benefits and and perhaps the less positive impacts of having a really strong focus on graded exams in their teaching. So a lot of our students have sort of come looking for ways to perhaps to move the focus away from those graded exams a little bit, and make their lessons have more of a focus on developing wider musical skills and performance skills, ensemble skills. And I think that's something that we do really well on this course. Actually, there's a strong emphasis on teaching creatively, helping students to develop improvisation skills, ensemble skills, playing in groups, giving them opportunities to perform, how to analyse their own performance, how to develop that sort of cognitive side of learning and become independent learners. I think a lot of our teachers are also looking for ways to teach certain areas of technique in slightly different ways. So it might be that they've always found it very difficult to teach vibrato or shifting, and this is an amazing opportunity to come on a course and look really closely at how you've always done that, and then perhaps learn some other ways from fellow students and from the mentor team. And we do look really closely at ways to teach technique in very creative ways, which often is quite new, quite revealing, enlightening to our student body.
Yeah, great. I think the technique thing, especially being able to work with instrument specific groups, it's a rare opportunity actually to get into the nitty gritty of what constitutes all these techniques. So I think that is certainly something people are interested in. What have you learnt yourself from mentoring on the course?
I have learned so much from mentoring on this course. I mean, we're all learning all of the time, and we learn from every context in which we are teaching, whether it be 5-year-old children who are brand new to playing the violin, or whether it be teachers who've been teaching for 10 or 20 years. Mentoring is a wonderful opportunity to reflect on ourselves as practitioners. So when I'm considering what questions I'm going to pose to my students, I'm always posing them to myself as well. So I'm looking for examples in my own teaching that I can share and offer to the group. I will share and offer things that I found very difficult, perhaps, as well as things that I think have gone really well, which go well because I've done them for a long time. But there are always new challenges that are presented to us by different students. And I think the mentor team on the PGCert and the MA are are really open and willing to share their own challenges and what they've learned through their own sort of difficult times in teaching as well. So I think they're very open and honest about the challenges of teaching, but also sort of very excited to learn and develop alongside the students. The students have amazing experiences to offer to us as well. So I think, you know, as I said before, I think we really are, it's a very collaborative relationship that we have with the students. We're all in it together. We're all doing the same thing. We all want the same for our students. It's a really healthy, positive relationship to have.